Time, and Bart and Jennifer Mills are in with us, and they're talking about 20 Days in Mariupol. It's just won an Oscar for Best Documentary Feature, and it's on PBS. So, Bart and Jennifer, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Man, this was a tough movie, man. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those movies. I mean, like you said, on Sunday night it won the Oscar, and the director and an AP reporter, Cherikov, said, specifically, this is the first time we've ever had a person come up and receive an Oscar who really wished more than anything that the movie hadn't had to be made. And it is the story of the 20 days of the first part of the invasion of Russia, of the Ukraine. Mariupol is the southwest city of Russia. They were under siege for 20 days, a little more than that, actually, in real life. And this follows almost note to note that occurrence in all its gory and tragic detail.
Yeah, I mean, it shows what war is like, right, Jennifer? I mean, it's ugly.
I mean, this really drives home, like we said, the importance of documenting this. At one point in time, the soldiers asked him to stop filming, and he said, I cannot stop. This is historic. It has to be documented. People have to see. I have to get these images out, and the world needs to see what is happening.
Right, and if you watch this documentary, you see the tragedy of it all. I mean, children are involved, families. I mean, it's just eye-opening.
Well, I mean, they're bombing maternity hospitals, women and babies, innocent civilians, apartment buildings, people that were not attacking them at all. So, it really needed to be shown.
Yeah, and the one woman in the film who was her house got bombed, she was like, "Why are they doing this to us?" I mean, the Ukrainians didn't understand what was happening.
Well, there was very little information. Obviously, the first secret of siege is to make sure that there's no information going in or going out. And so, these reporters, these AP reporters, and you said earlier, it does make you proud of journalism when it's done well. And we also get to see the evil side of journalism by the Russian misinformation campaign. But these reporters were the only source of information getting out. And we get to see in real time how important that was in terms of the rest of the world finding out what was actually happening. Because we had the Russians telling us, and mostly Putin, and I want to differentiate too between, Russians, who I love a lot of Russian people, and this administration. But we had their misinformation campaign, and that's all we knew until these AP reporters got their information out, and we started to see in real time what was happening. And it was important at that time, and it's still important in this documentary form.
Right, yeah, you could see why it won the Oscar, because, I mean, it's just riveting. And the journalist, he's like, we've got to get this out. It was hard for them to get the video out even.
Right, it was because they cut off all electricity, they cut off cell phones, they cut off everything. And there was only one location in the entire city where they could get a signal out. And it was very dangerous because, it was under fire, but they had to try to get back there every night in order to try to get those images out and put their lives on the line in order to do that. It's just incredible.
And you see the families in the basements of the apartments, and, and the kids like, I don't want to die. I mean, it's just...
Oh, God, that was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a little more shocking in here, too, because I just kept saying when we were watching it, it's so odd that there's such normalcy going on around it. I mean, you'll see, when you see these people, they're wearing the same clothes that we wear, the same, it's not a foreign land, so to speak. It is, but it's a very European country. It has that brutalist, federalist architecture left over from the Soviet run, but it is by and large, it looks like one of our towns, and the kids look like our kids, and that makes it a little more shocking, for better or worse. We see scenes where they found one outlet that worked, and everybody's plugging their phones in everywhere, and you just see that would be what we would be doing here if this happened to us. So I think there's a familiarity to it that also breeds a little more horror to it.
Mm-hmm. So obviously you guys are thumbs up, but not everybody should watch this. Do you agree?
You just have to tell people, listen to me stutter. You have to tell people this is a horrifying film. I mean, it shows not just children in danger. It shows children who have been killed, murdered by military force.
Mass graves.
Yeah, and mass graves, and the horror, more importantly, the horror of their family as they're dealing with the deaths. So it's not an easy watch. It's certainly nothing I ever want to watch again. but it's also important that we know what's going on, especially now when we're having a conversation about these atrocities that are occurring, not just there. So it's an important movie to watch. I think, it's on PBS. I will recommend that, if you donate to PBS, you get your PBS passport and you can watch it free that way, or just watch it on your local channel. But it is an important watch.
Yeah, yes, it is tough to watch. But a lot of important things are tough to watch. And I think everyone should see it. I think everyone in our government should have to sit down and see it. Anyone that's making any decisions regarding, our part in this war and our efforts to help them, I think they should have to watch this.
Yeah, it is a tough one, but thanks very much, Bart and Jen, for reviewing this for us today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, don't go away. We have more coming up after this.